hope you're not tired of envelopes. I seem to never run out of them. And here is another project that uses recycled envelopes as the base. Seed packets. And as I was creating them, it occurred to me that they don't all have to look the same and they don't really have to hold seeds. So I kept playing with the idea, and then I filled some with buttons, some with beads, with dried specimens, with charms, with coins, and on top of that I experimented with different shapes. Hello everyone, it's Dragana at Saacibo. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are making these seed packets slash mason jars, and all of these were made with DL envelopes as the base. First we will do the basic classical style, and then I'll show you how you can achieve, for example, that look and that look, this one or that one and that one. We will look at the different lid styles and we will decorate a few together. And to help you with the decoration, I have another freebie for you. This one has 4 pages and you can use it to create your own seed packets or mason jars. They are free for you to download on my website. The link should be up on the screen now. Once you get there, turn off all the ads, click on the images you wish to download, save them to your computer, print them and use them in your journals, including the ones that you sell. Please do not provide your details to anyone. If you click on any of the ads by mistake and they ask you for your details or payment, just know it's not me. Simply go back and try again. If you wish to share them with your friends and family, please send them the link to my website and they can download them themselves. All right, first I'm going to show you how to create that classic design of a mason jar. So you take your envelope. I like to use the envelopes that were open here on this end rather than there close to the opening. It doesn't mean you can't do it, it's just going to be a little bit harder. And what you do is you take a note of this distance from there to there. Okay, it will be different for different envelopes. Even the ones that I have, they're not all the same. Sometimes they have window on that side, sometimes over here. Some of them have even larger windows. It will depend on the envelope. Mine is 14 millimeters. So I'll just put 2 little dots there. So now I need to cut off that part. Okay. This part here, we will have to cut some of it off, and it depends how tall you want your jar to be. So what I do now, I just fold approximately where I want the lid to be, and it seems to be something like twice the distance that it's there. So if I have 2 centimeters there, perhaps I will go, I don't know, maybe 4 or 3.5. Let's just do 3.5. A little bit less than double. And I don't cut now, I just fold. Okay, I'm going to just trim that a little bit like so it's not really in my way. So what I do now, I create this here. Hope you can see that effect I achieve with these scissors. Okay, so this is how I work that out. See how it has 1, 2, 3 notches. I start with 3.5 and I line this side to the end of the envelope, and I just do that. 1, 2, 3.5. So I turn it the other way and then I repeat that. Okay, why 3.5? Because I like to have that part a little bit rounded, just to create the illusion that it's a round lid rather than a flat one. But you can certainly have it flat. There's nothing wrong with that. I will draw with the black pen so that you can see better. I will join that, but I don't actually cut straight like that. I just round it a little bit. If you don't feel confident to draw a curved line, you can use something as a guide, such as a plate. Now that is probably a little bit too much. I would probably go about there. Should have brought in a bigger plate you only cut this one, so you open it up like so. So I'm going to cut somewhere in between those two lines. Just want a slight curve, not that big one. I'm gonna get rid of that. All right, so now I have this situation here. Again, you need something round. For example, this lid, I'll just give you the dimensions of this one, 2 3/4 of an inch. Now I'm just putting a dot here where these cuts, and just so that you can see what I'm doing. What I'm doing is I'm joining with the lid, the end of the envelope with that dot. Okay, like so. And then I just cut this like so. Now we don't need 2 of these for the lid. Fold that part like so. Use that as the guide to draw where I need to cut. Okay, because I like to have that bit there and that bit there. Looks more realistic, I think. Keep this because you will need it. So I can use now that side to draw that. And now I can cut here and there. And that is the lid. Now when it comes to this part here, I like to have that effect. You can go closer together, you can go further apart. A good visual guide for me is this line there. Now instead of going 1, 2, 3.5, I just do 1, just like so. Okay, and then I try to do another cut approximately the same distance. Perhaps I could have gone a little bit further, and I can fix that easily. I will just do here a second cut like so. I'm going to mark this here so I can see better, and I'm going to join these two like so. And now you can use either the same lid or a smaller one, or even just something I cut with a circular punch. I like to place it like so and just do that. And now I'll just do this. So my basic structure is done. That's what that looks like on that side, and that's on that side, and the window that was already there is in the middle. Now you have this situation, you can leave that and just glue something at the back carefully, but if you don't feel like fiddling with that, you can just open it up like this. Okay, and now you can decorate the insides easily. Once you're done, you apply the glue and you close it. We will do that later on. Now I want to show you how to cut some of these other shapes. Let's look at the difference between these two. As you can see, the lid here is a little bit more narrow. It's really good to have a narrow opening here. If you're going to place some fine seeds or smaller things like beads on the inside, you only then leave a little opening at the top. To achieve that, you do this. I have quickly cut off that portion from several envelopes. So I'm going to use this one as the guide now. Once you have one done, if you want them all to be the same height, just use that first one as the guide. I will just draw with a pencil like so. Continuation of that line over there. Okay, that's where you want to make your first cut now. So we said 3.5, and the same here. Okay, so that gives us a smaller lid. I just cut there. And then I cut this bit. And that's the lid. Let's take a look at the difference. Okay, almost the same, but the top bit is different. So now I'm going to show you how to create this one, and I'm going to use this guide envelope. I'm going to take the first one as the guide. Okay, so far we've done most of it the same. To create that curve, I've used this plate. The curve of the plate starts there and finishes there, like so. And you do the same on this side. You just cut it now. And that one is done. Let's compare and look at them from that side. See how different that shape is. Alright, so let's do this one. I think you get the idea, but I'm going to do it anyway. Whatever you do on one side, you do on the other, and use different tools to help you draw the desired shape. Now this one also has a narrow lid, so I'm going to go and use that line as the guide. I won't draw anything this time. I'll just go like so, and then I'll eyeball it. The bottom bit looks the same as these ones, so we're going to do that first. What you need to do now is grab this same lid, place it in the middle, and draw around like this. Here you want to have a little bit of a shoulder, so I'm going to go up to there, maybe up to there. And over here I'm going to also I'm going to join these two like that, just with a straight line. So now when I cut it, I'm going to go like this, maybe round it here a little bit, just straight. We are designing bottles. Alright. Round, and that's it. This line here, it's not meant to be there. This one almost looks like a light bulb. That one's done too. Now let's do this one. Let's use that one again. Now we need to create this. I think I've done it like so. I've used this same lid, aligned that there and that here, and just drew a line, and I've done the same on this side. So you can experiment with this and have fun, something like that. Over here, I think I've used that lid, so I'm going to just do that. Like that. Okay, and now you just have to use a lid and join that line to that line, like so, for example. Maybe that's a little bit too deep. Let's use that one, like that. And then over here, like so. Now we just cut. Okay. This side too. I will just erase these lines. Here we go. I like it. Okay, and we've got those two left. Let's do this one first. I'm gonna go the same as before. Done that bit, and I draw that. And now I'm just going to use this plate to start drawing from there to here, and then over there, you know, where I made the notch, I'm gonna place it there and do that. Simple as that. Perhaps if I used a bigger plate, I could do it all in one. This one reminds me of a perfume bottle. There. If you don't have these scalloped scissors, you can still do that, but with just regular scissors. Perhaps not big ones like these, some smaller ones. Love that one. And there's this one left. Now this shape is a little bit different because I have used this freebie label as the guide. Okay, I've started the same. I glued that freebie on the back. I'm going to ink around a little bit. I'm going to ink this around as well. Let's get the glue. So now I can just use this as the guide for cutting. I am leaving a little bit of the envelope around. I have to draw this first. Forgot about that. Maybe I'll just go straight. Just that. Now perhaps that lid is a little bit too wide now, so I will cut it in a little bit, like so, like so. Like that. It's not exactly the same as that one. This one has a taller neck. All right, let's decorate a few. I'm gonna make one of these first because I want to complete my set. I have some sunflower seeds and I haven't made one for sunflowers, so I'm gonna do that one first. I'm gonna use this one. And I'm gonna use that label. Whatever you decide to put on the inside, it doesn't have to cover the whole thing. It basically has to cover just what's visible. I don't need that extra frame So I'm just going to cut it like so. I'm not going to do anything to it. I'll just simply glue that on the back. You can also have just some dyed papers, whatever you want. I've created this digital, and I really like it, so I thought I'll share it with you. So now I just ink this. You can also stamp, you can stencil, you can glue things over napkins, washi tape, whatever you like. Remember how I said just keep these that you cut off? This is why. If you place it there like that, from that point to that point, just hold it like that and then ink slowly. That's what you get, like a shadow. And the same goes for that. Now here I've drawn with a pen, so I have a black line, but normally I do the same. Just cover that and then ink. As you can see, I've done all the lids as grey or silvery looking, and this is how I've done it. I start with black. Like so, just black ink. Here I've drawn with the black pen again, but that's all right. I'll just decorate in a way to cover that. I will cover this and then I will continue with the brown. Or you can use any color you want. It doesn't have to be black and brown. Sort of started with that and then I just felt like I should continue. All right, and then what you can do there, you can use this same thing to achieve this. So you just keep joining these notches and then inking and using that same thing that you cut as the guide or the mask. The same here, although here you have to be careful so you don't go over the brown. So what you can do is cut this like so in half and place one half there and one half there, and then ink that in between. It just gives an illusion of the lid being round rather than flat. So when you close it, that's what it looks like. I remembered that I have some silver wax, finger wax or gilding wax. I think that would add a really nice touch to have a little bit of silver on the lid. So I'll just go over. All that's left to do is glue. Now you see that cellophane bit there. If it goes all the way to the edges, you might want to trim it a little bit. I apply glue here too. I don't want anything small to be trapped at the very bottom, and just on the sides. Just like so. Close it. I've been adding just a label and these little bows. Let's see which one. Maybe that one would look cute. I'm gonna go with that. Just cutting a label. ink it a little bit. With these labels, you can put them higher on top, you can put them down the bottom, you can put them in the middle. I think that one would look good there. And I just put a little bit of glue on the sides. There's really no need to glue that bit there to the cellophane part. I've been adding the brad here. I'm just gonna punch a hole. I'm gonna glue that first, because I know I had trouble before. Things kept moving. I'm gonna glue it, and then I'm gonna put the brad through. I'll bring it closer. Let's get my seeds. That was my system so far. Just using little envelopes. Okay. How many do I have? Oh, that's plenty. I think these would be nice to share with your friends that are into flowers or gardening. You can exchange your seeds. You can also add spices, I suppose. All right. If your seeds are really fine and they tend to escape, such as these ones, look how tiny they are. I just put a little bit of washi tape on the top because washi tape can be easily removed without tearing everything. I think I'm quite safe with the sunflower seeds. They're big. You can also add a little paper clip on top, like so. And you can write instructions on this side. For example, when to sow or something like that. All right, I think they're really cute. So far I have these 4 with seeds. All right, now let's decorate one more. Going to use brown. I won't have to do much inking on this one because the envelope is dyed. Just go slowly. Even that little detail, I think, adds a lot to this. Just want to make this line stand out a little bit more. What should we glue on the inside? We can also use other freebies. Maybe those would look nice. They're a little bit small, or maybe just... Actually, they can fit. I want to use that one. If you have an image that can barely fit and you want to place it correctly, do this. Put the glue, then put it over the opening. Now check. If you can't see the empty space, it means it's right, and you just go and put that one on top. Can see that the cellophane here is all the way to the edges, and I can't really cut it off, so I'm just going to apply some of the acetone-based glue to make sure it's closed. Okay, now that it's glued, I can just go and complete the inking. It's easier to do it now. And if you want to have that part there looking a little bit skinnier kind of thing, you can just add a bit more ink there, like so. Add some more here. I've been decorating the tops of some of these just with lace. Let's just do that. So I would do that. Just using really thin lace. I don't want extra bulk. And just some silicone glue. Place that. I don't have a system for this. I just do that. Alright, so I just add the glue directly on that. I can cut this off. Just loosely follow the outline. I have some of these pink buttons. They're small and flat. I think they're perfect for this. Just like so. Then I hold it. Place them one by one. Gorgeous. Love these so much. Still a few more left to decorate, but you get the idea. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I had lots of fun. And this is a great way to upcycle envelopes. Love these. Great to use in journals as ephemera, also in happy mail to send to your friends, whether you send them buttons or seeds or charms or beads or whatever you can think of, even dry specimens. You can also add money and write a message in the back if you give it to someone for Christmas, for New Year, for birthday, whatever. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I hope I see you soon in the next video. Bye for now.